they say nobody has ever done it for real the way I do it, but I tell them that I'm just different. I'm a different person.
This 6'4" monster out there in Jacksonville, who was technically one of the top 5 receivers in statistics. Travis Hunter is a one-of-one athlete. Now, is he a one-of-one wide receiver? I'm not sure. Is he a one-of-one cornerback? I'm not sure. But undoubtedly, a one-of-one athlete, no matter what he does in the NFL, already a Heisman winner, and he's looking to add another level of dynamic. He's trying to make the Jaguars more dynamic. Gosh darn it, I don't have enough adjectives and vocabulary words to describe it, but he is being added to, I do want to stress this, a very scary receiver core. And one man and one young man by the name of Brian Thomas Jr. Is someone who's going to bolster that. And why am I bringing that up? Because Travis Hunter, for the most part, is going to be looked at as in a role that people are kind of, we don't know. We're still confused if he's going to play a wide receiver. How much is he going to play wide receiver? How much is he going to play on the defensive side? The Jags have said a little bit of that, but whether it's all the snaps or it's only half the snaps, when you have a 6'4", 6'5", he looked like he's 6'5", he played like he's 6'6", speed demon with great hands and amazing ability to get in and out of routes, and Brian Thomas, who just so happened to be one of the top receivers last year in his rookie year with a gosh darn 6'6" potato surfer throwing to him, and Trevor Lawrence. Look, man, I'm not saying that the Jags are going to do phenomenal things because I'm a Texans fan and that would be sacrilegious. Stroud boys till I know. But what I am saying is that Travis Hunter lined up on one side and Brian Thomas lined up on the other side is going to have a lot of different defenses making some hard decisions, and I think it might be a little advantageous for them boys in teal. So today what we're going to do, just checking on Travis Hunter. We're also going to remind you of who Brian Thomas is, and then I'm just going to kind of lament on how phenomenal this terrific twosome is going to be. And then at the end, we're going to hear from a few vets. We got Patrick Peterson and Cam Newton. We also have Paul George for some reason. He was on the Pivot Podcast kind of speaking of it. And they're going to talk about the two-way ability of Travis Hunter. So first things first, man. I know this ain't got nothing to do with his teammate, but talk about previous teammates, man. How there go number 12. You know what I'm saying? They used to call him number 2. Now they call him number 12. Y'all know what he do. And then there's, of course, the other number 12, who's also here with his official number. There he is. And then there is number 12. You know what I'm saying? The prodigal son of Jacksonville and of the Jags, doing it big. So that's them with the official jersey. Here he is in the official jersey. And he's not just in it. They're at the, what's it called? The Rookie Showcase, I believe, with Fanatics. So they're, official jerseys and everything. Even Dylan Gabriel's out there. There's Ashton Genty back there. So all the rookies are doing their thing, getting their film on. I think they're doing some cards and stuff too as well. Just a lot of elite stuff happening, a lot of good stuff happening. But why? Actually, before we even get into any of my yapping, let's hear Travis Hunter yap a little bit at that Panini. Sorry, it's Panini, not what's it called? I thought it was Fanatics. At the Panini situation with their cards and whatnot.
Probably the cafeteria.
Tell me.
Yeah, we got good eats in there.
Good.
What's your go-to right now?
I got a sub. I get like a sub every day, and like a cheeseburger. Then I got a lot of fruit.
Yeah.
We get everything. It's something new every day.
Okay. So, hey, the man loves food, the man loves fishing, and the man loves a nice sandwich. Here's Travis Hunter signing his first ever card. So y'all let me know if y'all get the first autographed a Travis Hunter card. We got to do that, and let me know. We might have to open some get some card packs live on the channel. You know what I'm saying? This is from the Elite Series. I used to be deep into the card bag, so I can get back into it and get to it. So what has Travis Hunter looked like very early on, and what is he projecting to look like? He's looking smooth, man. He's looking nice, man. He's running these routes, right? And a lot of people are saying that they're surprised at how smooth and how controlled and how easy things come to him. And this is something that we kind of talked about in the last Travis Hunter video that we made. And it's like, this dude is not someone who he's just good at football, or just, I should reframe that. Not just great at football. He is, more importantly, someone who enjoys the game of football. And even more importantly, someone who just does it very easily. It just comes to him. It comes to him naturally, dominating these routes, the smoothness of every angle of it. And as we do it, now I want to yap about this because then we're going to go over and talk about Brian Thomas, the element that he brings to the offense, and initially, of course, what they both bring to the offense. This was very interesting, obviously because he's going to be playing both weeks, or no, not both weeks, both sides. So they have some notable matchups, both for his cornerback and both for his wide receivers, going against Nico Collins in week 3. And then in week 3, also going against the Sting and Derek Stingley. Y'all better watch out. You better watch out for Nico too. You better have some safety help, son. Ladd McConkey in week 11. Marvin Harrison Jr. in week 12. And the Sting again in week 10, and that means you got to have Nico again. Look, this is all funny and all whatever. I have been very vocal about the way that I think that the Jaguars should use him. They're using him in the exact opposite way. So from the way that the GM and Cohen has described it, and from the early talks of training camp, the way that Travis Hunter is going to be implemented is from an offensive first standpoint, and then they're going to find packages for him on the defensive side. Now, I don't want him having to line up against a tight end, doing anything nasty like that. You would hope your robber or your strong safety has to do that. So if he's playing true, nickel, and he's just the nickel back, and he's going to be, brought in to play man on a Ladd McConkey because he's going to be lined up in the slot or try to come in and help out on that slot receiver and just give you an extra receiver body. I think he can do that great. I think he can play robber the zone, like a legit middle of the field robber, but not the actual position robber, if you know what I mean. It's technical football stuff. Some people call it the X, some people call it the robber. It's a made up new position that's basically a box safety, right? That box safety that doesn't just play a box safety, but he also can still play free safety, and he can also cover man, and he can also do that. A good example is Kyle Hamilton, right? Kyle Hamilton can play that X, that box safety. He can play in the box. He can blitz. He can do all of that. But he can also play true safety, and he's rangy enough to do all that. So do I think he's physically capable enough to do that against safeties in particular? I don't know, right? But I do think that for what you need to be able to cover some of those, what do you call them? Slot receivers, right? That are very good on the inside, very good in the phone booth. I think the silkiness, the ability that Travis Hunter possesses is going to be great. Now, before I put this to an end, I just have to say, and I am confident about this working, so y'all can quote me on this. I think Travis Hunter should be defensive first. Now, first off, why do I think they're going offense first or offense main, and then maybe he plays some defense, maybe in a package? I think just because he has to learn a lot more about the intricacies of running routes, right? Travis Hunter is a good route runner for the collegiate level, and it has a lot to do with him just being such a great athlete and so good at so many things and so fluid, right? He's in such good hands. Like, he does everything. He does so many small things so great, so many basic things so great, that it doesn't really matter that, a small this, a small that, the intricacies that he's going to start to hone in on when you get to the NFL league, right? Better tempo, better this, better that, the change-ups of his routes, more importantly, him even identifying the way that these corners and safeties are going to play with the coverage to fool him, not just quarterbacks, right? So there's a whole nother element at the receiver level. There's another game, right? Instead of just run and get open like it was in college. And college is just run and get open. In the NFL, there's a little bit more of a different language that needs to be spoken. So I'm assuming that's why, hey, there's going to be a lot to learn on this offense, and we want you to be a large part of this offense, right? So let's start you there. I personally think, let him learn how to play defense, right? Let him, and again, he knows how to play defense, right? But let him learn every single position, DB position. Yeah, teach him safety. I don't care, right? Allow him to be that multiple. And I should have said Jalen Ramsey for the real example of Robert. Anyway, not the point. Let him play. Let him play that nickelback. Let him play quarterback. Let him play. You know what I'm saying? Let him get in that action the best way he can. I want him to be baptized by fire there, because in my head, I could throw him an indirect. He doesn't even have to be an offensive, the coaching room for us to install a jet pass to him, right? He don't, what I'm saying? Just to throw a little whatever. He needs to be OBJ. I don't know if y'all remember whenever they got Odell the Rams in the middle of the season. He ran 2 routes. He ran a curl, a slant, and a go. That was it. And a drag. A girl slant, a drag. That was it. That's all he ran. I think that you could easily do that with Travis Hunter. Just replace with somebody with Travis Hunter. Hey, here's the route, Travis. Go run a slant like that. I think that would be easier. But then again, I have coached 0 NFL games, so I would have to think that their idea and the way they want to go about it makes more sense. But that is Travis Hunter, a phenomenal football player that's going to do phenomenal things. But here is another absolute phenomenal football player in Mr. Brian Thomas. Now, Brian Thomas is just a big son of a gun, right? Now, when you talk about, and this is why I thought it was funny, they're like, oh, he's got to go against Derek Stingley. He's got to go against this person. He's got to go this person. Dog, if y'all voice crack, if y'all not covering Brian Thomas Jr., there's a problem, son. This 6'4", monster out there in Jacksonville who was technically one of the top 5 receivers in statistics. Like, what are we talking about? 6'4", 4.33, 40 time. What are we talking about? Like, don't. I just don't want y'all to forget. There's going to be a lot more hype. There's going to be a lot more attention, right? There's going to be a lot of things that are focused on Travis Hunter because of the name, because of the Heisman, because of the number he was picked. But golly gee, if I would have to say, there's a better wide receiver in that wide receiver room with Travis Hunter, and it's only because he's 6'4" and might run faster than Travis Hunter. This dude is a problem. He comes out of wide receiver university, LSU. They've just been producing. All the top receivers are from wide receiver from the wide receiver are from LSU in the league right now. Right, this is one of my favorite guys, Nate, who does some breakdowns here. And he's going to do a small breakdown what he does. He said he eats up ground with his strides, surprising twitchiness on the route break to get the safety leaning, double catch for the touchdown. And he says this is going to epitomize what he does best. So I believe, and a great thing, I love seeing this, in NFL offenses. Just how about, and you saw Ohio State take advantage of this, take your best player and just put him in motion so nobody can cover him. How about it, right? How about take your best player and put him in a peculiar situation where now he's in the slot. He went from being by himself, potentially getting a number 1 corner on him, right? Now he's in the slot against a nickelback or whoever this is lining up. Now we got problems, right? And the defense doesn't really adjust except for kicking him out. They're staying in the zone anyway, right? And then what does he do? Basically, zone and the safety's matching him. The zone and the safety is going to match him here. Boom. And like he says, wow. And I know he talks about the slightness. I love the fact that at 6'4", look how slight that move is. He's able to 1, 2, and then look at this space. He does that slight step 1, 2, boom, and then now he's in space. And I talked about this in my LeJohntay Horn video. Is all right. Now that you're in space, what are you gonna do with it? Right? Are you gonna overrun it? Are you gonna cheat it here so this linebacker can get to it? Are you gonna just keep your stride? Keep a healthy line for your quarterback. Let your quarterback help you make a play so you can go make a play. It happens. He throws it up. Great ball by Trevor Lawrence. I mean, you keep it out of harm's way. But again, this is just great job by the offensive coordinator. So you have to hope, even though I know it's a new regime, I know it's maybe a different offensive mindset too with Liam Cohen or however they're getting down there in Jacksonville. Look, I shouldn't hope anything positive for you gosh darn Teal boys because it's Texans. All right. Anyway, not important. Again, motion across the formation, and again, it being zone, they don't follow it. They just let the 6'4", 4.33 stud. They just let him walk across the formation. They just kind of bump over. Who cares? Our safety can handle it. Guess what, guys? Your safety can't handle it. Your safety cannot handle it. Trevor Lawrence, whether make fun of him or not, but I really do think at 6'6", he does some of his best work around the red zone with some of these throws. He's got the balls to do it too. He's always had that. That's what I've loved about him since Clemson. He will put it out there. And he puts it out there right over the head, and not just over the head of this linebacker. This is very clean. This is very clean, very clear. He gets it to that 6'4" target that you got to hit every single time. Yeah, and just before we exit out, every wide receiver to average 3+ yards per route run from the slot last season. Puka Nacua, 3.56 slot demon. Rashad Bateman, the Batman over there with Lamar Jackson, 3.37. Brian Thomas at 6'4", 312. George Pickens, I believe at 6'2", 6'3". George Pickens is a big dog. He's a go up and getter type of receiver, and he's doing those similar things as well. I just feel like, how do you go wrong when you have a 6'4" demon like this, who's too fast, too good, too amazing at every single turn and object, and then you just so happen to put one of the twitchiest, one of the most smoothest athletes, one of the greatest hand catchers that I think the league has seen in a long time, in Travis Hunter, and you allow him to come in to set things to the next level. So how do people feel about the whole situation of Travis Hunter coming into his own, playing both sides of the ball? Let's hear what future Hall of Famer Patrick Peterson has to say.
I don't want to put a cap on Travis. I don't want to say that he cannot do it, because we had these conversations. It was like, man, would he be able to do it at the college level?
And he did,
and he was able to do it. The only difference is going to be between the college level and the NFL level. He's going to be in the classroom more, and I don't know how he's going to be able to divide his time in both places. As Cam knows, we're on the field an hour and a half, hour 40.
If that.
You know what I mean, right? So how he's going to be able to have all of his attention in both places. So I think that's going to be the trickiest part, because we've seen he can play both sides.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At a high level.
Yeah.
And think about this, Cam, the terminology.
Yeah.
It's going to be totally different. And it's not going to be like college where we're going to run what we run because we're good at it. It's going to be a game plan every single week.
Now that, I think, adds a lot more context to the conversation that I had. And again, that's why I have coached literally 0 NFL games, right? You talk about the deeper side of it, to the terminology of understanding things, right? And even how can your wires get crossed, right? You have to understand that a lot of the defense of those play callings and things are it's not just about, or I should say this, the goal isn't to make it confusing for offenses, right? That's not the goal. The goal is just to signature and make sure that we know what we know, and we'd have that, right? So not only is just the nomenclature and how you're going to be setting that stuff up, but you even think about the rules, right? There's like certain rules if you've ever had a playbook, right? Specifically on the offensive side, right? Hey, if this happens, you got to do this. If this happens, hey, on the defensive side, hey, we get trips, you're doing this. If you get this, you're doing this. If you get trips, but the 3 is this, but it's a bunch, but you're on the hash, but you're to the field, but you're to the right. So there's so many scenarios and rules. Like it's a playbook, and half of it is rules. So, and the other half is like, okay, this is actually a play. So once he has all those, every single rules on both sides of the ball, just that, forget the plays, forget offensive plays, but just, when we come out in whatever the formation is, jet 70, 78, 65 banana, whatever it is, I have to get this amount of depth. But whenever we're running jet sweep, I got to remember, I got to cheat my split down 3 more. But when we're running the zone scheme, because I have to help on the safety, I have to be able to climb to that safety. So I need to be able to cheat down. But I can't be on the line, but I have to be on it. Like, there's 1,000 different things when it gets to that level. So I think that makes a lot of sense. But I do think Travis Hunter is someone who is capable of it. But yeah, what do y'all think? Y'all think he's going to play both sides? Do you think he's going to be able to thrive at both sides? Do you think Brian Thomas is going to have another electric season like he did? Give me an over-under win total for those Jags, man. And my Texans. Nah, I'm just messing with you, man. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Like this video if you like it. Dislike if you don't like it. Subscribe if you enjoy football content. Did I tell you to subscribe? Did I tell you to do that? Did I tell you you're great? Because that's more important, that you know you're great, even though you knew you're great. Even though we'll see you next time, man. Peace.